This is the Toshi Pack 20 liter from Rework. And similarly to their Toshi Sling, it has been sold out since it was released in May of 2025. Now we're here in the fall going into the winter of 2025, and they just announced a new pre-order for a second run of this bag that has become extremely popular within the community. And so I thought it'd be a perfect time, now that there's a new pre-order coming out, to take a full look at this and let you know what I think of this bag. So full disclosure is that I'd reached out to Rework and I asked them to send me over a sample of this bag, which they did free of charge for me, but this video is not sponsored. They have no say in this video. They just sent over the bag as a sample, so I do appreciate that. So as you can tell, I've got this completely loaded out right now. It's actually quite heavy with all the stuff that I've got packed in here. So as I go through the bag, we're gonna go through every pocket, do a full overview here. I'll actually be unloading it so you can see exactly what fits at the same time. But first, let's do a quick overview here. And the overall dimensions here are 18 inches high by about 11.6 inches wide by about 6 inches deep. So you'll have no problem fitting this under a seat as a personal item. It's the perfect size for that, as well as I think for everyday carry. And the weight on this is actually about 2.25 pounds, which is actually pretty lightweight given all that they've packed into this. And that's in part due to the materials. So this is an 840D nylon, which is a little bit lighter weight than some of the other packs or some of the other materials like X-Pack, but it still gives you plenty of durability. But I will note that it's got a little bit more malleability being that lighter weight material than maybe some other packs like from Air with their heavier weight ballistic nylon. And so this is a little bit of an easier wear in terms of being able to kind of shove things in and around the sides. There's a little less structure, but overall it is still plenty structured. I just wanted to note that it is a little lightweight material, which again makes it a lighter weight pack if that's important to you. And then in terms of the inside, there's a 210D PU coated ripstop nylon lining. And just a note on the zippers, it is YKK zippers throughout the pack, but they are not AquaGuard zippers. And I know a lot of you, that will actually be music to your ears because you maybe don't like the AquaGuard zippers. They have a tendency, for some people, I've never had an issue, but some people have complained that they peel or that they are a little bit rigid or hard to get over and around corners. I've had no such issues with this bag. The zippers have been super smooth throughout my time with it, so no problems there. All right, so setting the bag down here, let's first actually check out the back and then we'll flip it over and start looking at the pockets. But I wanted to start by talking about the harness system and this kind of back panel, because there is a huge amount of extraordinarily squishy, comfortable foam here, and with a very large center channel here for a little bit of air to get through, a little bit of breathability. But I have found this bag to be extremely comfortable. Like I said, it's loaded out extraordinarily heavy right now, as if I were planning for heading to a trip, and it's been super, super cozy. You can tell that the shoulder straps here are contoured, and there is also a sternum strap here with a pretty basic little buckle. And I will say that this is kind of one downside. The buckle works fine, but this buckle, it's like the smaller version of what they have on their sling. And I found that I sometimes do that. And so it's kind of easy that the buckle doesn't quite guide itself into place as much as I'd want to. Sometimes those magnetic buckles are nice just because they kind of snap in. So when I found that I'm trying to do this one-handed, it's been a little bit of a challenge. I kind of have to focus on what I'm doing, because otherwise I will often get it kind of sideways like that. So that's just a note about the buckle, but the sternum strap otherwise is nicely appointed. I really like this feature here of having a little bit of double elastic, as you can see there. There's a little bit of extra give as you're actually wearing the bag, which just makes it a little bit more comfortable as well. So it's not so rigid once you get that sternum strap on. Did want to note as well that the sternum strap is removable. So it's just attached on this little piece of like piping that's inside of here. And so it's fully adjustable up and down, which I think is great. But if you do want to remove it, you can just kind of pull it off the top there. It's actually quite easy to remove. Last thing I wanted to mention here on the back is that there is a luggage pass-through and it is vertical. So what this allows you to do is actually keep your backpack on your luggage upright, which I think is so important. If you've got like a water bottle on the side, I really hate bags that make you tip your bag on their side, where you're either putting it on the water bottle pocket or your water bottle is kind of hanging out loose on the top, where it tends to maybe want to drift, or you hit a bump and then it's flying off the side. So I always personally look for bags that have the upright luggage pass through for that reason, and this has it. So checks that box as well. And before we get into the actual inside pockets, internal pockets here. Let's talk about the water bottle pockets here. So there are 2 on each side, and they are the same. There's quite a bit of adjustability. They claim that you can get up to a 32-ounce Nalgene bottle. You can see I've got the 24-ounce Owala water bottle, which does fit in there pretty snugly, but it is pretty deep. I like the height of this pocket here because it holds even a tall water bottle like this pretty well. And then there is also a little bit of venting down here at the bottom, a little drainage channel, so just in case you do get a leak, it won't be sitting with water in the bottom of your water bottle pocket. So that is a good thing as well. All right, so let's finally actually talk about the actual pocketing system of this bag. And I'm actually going to start down here on this kind of quick access multi-sided pocket. So there is a pocket that sits right here, and it's probably my favorite pocket of this bag. And that's because it is accessible on either side here. And so this is meant to be a pocket where if you are wearing the backpack with one arm like this, you can easily kind of sling this to your front, and that pocket is accessible on either shoulder in either direction right here. So really easy to open here and get access to your quick items, such as, you know, my earbuds in here, and then you can easily zip that back up. Now I already pulled out my AirPods out of there, but you can see what else I have in here. I just put a pencil case in here, so I like to carry a pen, Sharpie, some hand sanitizer, Tide pen, little screwdriver. And on bags that don't have like a specific spot for pens and things like that, I just like throwing in there to keep those items a little bit more organized. Additionally, in here, I've got a pack of tissues, and then down here on a little key leash, I've just got a little flashlight. So this is the Rovivon A8 Aurora. But what I really love about this key leash is that this is actually removable. And so it's gonna be hard to show on this bag, but there are 2 kind of lash points, one on this corner and then one down here on this corner. And this key leash that comes with the bag is actually removable, and it can go on either side of that. So again, it's ambidextrous, but it can also fit up here in this other pocket, as well as a top pocket as well that we'll show in just a second, which means that you can choose where you want to have your key leash, which I think is really great. So that's all I got in this pocket. So I'll go ahead and zip that up, and we are going to move up into the next kind of quick access pocket, which is this one right here. And you can see this pocket is about a half of the top of the bag, and I do have it quite loaded out here. It is got a horseshoe zip, so it's about a half zip down the side of the bag, but let's go ahead and open it up fully on both sides. There are 2 elasticated mesh pockets here. So on one side, I have just an Anker power brick with the cable for that down in front, as well as an Anker dual USB-C cable. And then on the other side, in the other pocket here, I've just got a little power bank from Ainu. And then in the back, I've got some extra cables here, as well as a little phone 3-in-1 charger that I use on like a nightstand while I'm traveling. So I've got kind of all my charging stuff here right in this front pocket. And you can see, because of the way that this bag is designed with these darts here on the bottom and the top here, this section here has its own volume, and it actually has quite a bit of volume. So I've actually stuck full pouches and things in here before. Right now it was a little bit more slim items, but you can definitely fit quite a bit of stuff in this pocket if you would like. Additionally, as I was saying about the key leash, this is that kind of piece of webbing here that you can actually put that key leash on. So this is what is inside this lower pocket down here, and it's additionally on this pocket up here if that's where you prefer to put your keys. And lastly, let's go up to the last quick access pocket, which is this one right here. So it's between this kind of front access pocket and then the main section zipper right here. There is another quick access. I just have a pair of sunglasses in here, but it's just a nice open pocket. It's the same ripstop nylon, so it's not like a super soft material like that, so you could definitely put whatever you want in here. It's kind of the same pocket that they have actually in the Toshi sling, where I was keeping sunglasses as well. But then additionally, you can see there's another spot for a key leash. So if you wanted to instead use this as your quick access, throw your keys, throw your wallet, your earbuds, things like that. Might actually be a really nice place to put them. All right, so next let's get into the actual main section of this bag. And I wanted to point out that here at the bottom of each of these sides, you get a couple little nylon pull tabs, which just make it easier to actually open this bag. And it opens up in a kind of curve here that curves all the way to the back of the bag and then around to the front. And so the advantage of that is that, you know, if you wanted to store things in this bag, like books or files or things like that, things that you need to put straight down that are large, you can do that because of how this is positioned, as opposed to it being, you know, a zipper here on the front. So you get easy access to kind of this back divider that we'll show in a second. But let's go ahead and open it up all the way. And here comes a magic trick, is that this will open up literally all the way and lay flat here, which is really, really nice. You can see I right now have this kitted out with a Tenba BYOB 9 Slim backpack insert, which fits just perfectly in here. So I would normally have like my A7C II with a lens in here, but the Fuji X100VI is filling in for that right now. And again, to show you, that means in the same way that I can sling this bag over on my left shoulder to get access to that quick pocket, I can actually get access to my camera just like this. And with the Tenba open like that, I can actually get my camera straight out of the side without having to take the bag off my back. So again, a nice little makeshift camera bag here because of the way this zipper is designed. But obviously, additionally, if you are not a camera person, you can fit whatever you want in here. There is plenty of space, and I like that it opens up fully like a luggage. So the only other thing I had in here is currently the Initech tech pouch, which normally I would actually, if I'm not carrying my camera in there, I leave at the bottom of my pack. And then I have the extra top of the pack to put, you know, snacks, a jacket, whatever things I need for that day. But taking that out, let's go ahead and take a look at the totality of the pack here. And it's really, really basic. You know, there's no extra dividers or pockets on this side other than this kind of pleated divider here that just has that same ripstop material. So again, if you wanted to keep some files, some folders, things like that in here, you can. Or if you want to stick in like a jacket because it's got that little extra volume, you could shove that back here just to keep things a little bit more organized in your bag. Additionally, on the front side here, there is just a single extra zippered opening, and I've kind of put some flat items in here. So I've got a little phone holder, oh boy, some business cards, some gaff tape that's on a old card and things like that. So I have those kind of flat things in here, and then you'll see in this section, this pocket actually has a little like air tag or, you know, tracker pocket right here. So that's your hidden little pocket. Other than that, really basic kind of pouch-centric carry. Maybe you want to pack this out for like just a quick overnight. Easily could fit a toiletry bag and a small packing cube, etc. They really are leaving this wide open for you to kind of make your own decisions here, which I like on bags for myself, that they put all of the kind of organization externally elsewhere, and then the main section of the bag really allow you to customize how you want to carry it. And in this case, you know, I just showed you that I am using it as a kind of makeshift camera bag. So that's the main section and the main volume of the bag. Let's now go to this back laptop area. And again, the pocket just is a horseshoe zip with 2 zippers, and it only goes about down about that far. So about maybe a third of the way down on the bag. And back here, you are just gonna get the same material. So there's no like microfiber or soft material here, which is neither here nor there, but there's just one divider here, and then there's a area on either side. And this is a raised laptop compartment, so it is doesn't go all the way to the bottom of the bag, so you can kind of feel safe with whatever you put in here. You got about 1 inch of clearance on the bottom of this in the main section before it actually hits the bottom of the bag. So nice protected things back here, and you can actually fit up to a 16-inch MacBook in here. You can see it just kind of like swallows up. This is actually just a 13-inch MacBook Air, and you can see it's like barely peeking out there. And then I have an 11-inch iPad Pro down in the front section there, but otherwise, yeah, nice and wide open. I don't have a larger laptop here, but I do have a 15.6-inch portable monitor. So we'll just show you what that looks like. I'll sometimes carry that when I travel. And you can see, obviously, you still have plenty of space here. So they actually claim you can fit up to 2 16-inch laptops inside this area, which to me is insane. If you were carrying 2 16-inch laptops in a bag this small, this slim, but you can, and the reason why you can is because they actually have divided this section right here. If you actually can see this area right here, the way they've cut this fabric is when you fully load out this tech area, it actually will expand slightly. So this becomes kind of the side of the bag as opposed to the back of the bag. It's kind of hard to show here. But if you really load out this back area, it will actually expand a little bit for you to be able to fit some extra capacity in here. And I think that is pretty clutch for people who do need to carry extra things. And you know, I'm often carrying a laptop and this monitor and an iPad, so I like that you can fit a little bit extra back here and keep all of those things zipped up and separate from, you know, your main capacity where you're keeping all your other stuff that you need on your trip or in your everyday use. And last thing I wanted to quickly point out is that with the flat bottom here, this bag has stood up really well on its own, and I don't know how to live without self-standing bags at this point in my life. Highly underrated feature that I really do like. So that wraps up the Toshi Pack 20 liter. Overall impressions of this bag, I think it is a really great option for EDC. You know, for better or worse, this pack ended up coming out around the same time as the Air City Pack Pro 2, which is another one of my favorite EDC backpacks. I've got a review of that, which you can actually access up here. And in comparison to that one, I would say this is a little bit more simple. It's a little bit less structured, like literally in the denier. The Air is a little bit heavier denier, so it kind of keeps its shape a little bit better no matter what you put in it. This is a little bit softer, a little bit more malleable. But then also in terms of like the way that the inside pockets are designed, laid out in terms of like the internal organization, the Air kind of has a lot more going on with it, with a lot more kind of internal dividers and things like that. Whereas I think Rework kind of is giving you more freedom to kind of choose how you want to pack it out, use more like pouches and things like that to get that extra division if you want it, but also have the freedom not to have it. Additionally, there's a couple of things that kind of stand out from this bag over that one. The main one being this kind of quick access ambidextrous pocket that you can get from either side. I think that's really a genius thing here. And then the last thing I'll mention here is that this is just a lot cleaner of an aesthetic versus the Air. There aren't those kind of big side handles. It's just a really clean bag. There's absolutely zero branding on this bag, so it's extraordinarily kind of stealthy in that way, and that's something I really love. I love repping brands here on this channel that aren't trying to rep themselves too hard on their bags, because I don't love going around and being a walking billboard. Super cool that they just keep this really clean and minimal. So definitely check out the Rework Toshi Pack 20 liter. If you are interested in picking one of these up, check out the link in the description. There's also links down there for all the other kind of EDC gear that I've shown throughout this video. Those links do help support the channel if you can. I hope this video was helpful for you, and if it was, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that like button and consider subscribing for more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.